All right, we're here for another episode of Bento Pod because it's another season of anime.
Winter.
Yeah. All right, so one of the ones that we watched was Dimension W.
Yeah, we dropped it.
It's about this this guy who doesn't like androids.
Like Will Smith and iRobot.
Oh yeah, huh? It is definitely that. That's perfect.
Because he meets a robot that has human emotion.
Yeah, she's more intelligent, and then he has to work with her.
And it
And
sucks, and I dropped it.
yeah, I watched a few episodes and like, no.
Yeah, it was more of a chore. It just wasn't that interesting. And I know it's a small thing, but I don't like the way the robot girl looks. I don't like her hair. Like the ending tries to make her look more and badass and cute, but it doesn't for me.
Yeah,
So
the relationship was kind of typical between
yeah,
them. It was somewhat interesting to me because of the powers, like they like not the robot, but like other powers that people had coming into the episodes. That was interesting, but like it it didn't make my list of ones that I'm gonna definitely keep watching. So
yeah.
next, Divine Gate.
Yeah, I don't know, the kid fighters or the main guy that was blonde, his inner monologue was just so like he's a kid, but he has a mind of a adult. It's like why not just make these adults? So I dropped it as typical boring.
Yeah, it's kind of sad because I kind of was hoping that it would get better.
I
You,
only watched the first and half the second, and I'm like, this is boring. Like even the fights wasn't interesting to me. I don't know.
I want to say I got around to like the fourth or fifth episode, and like there were some interesting parts, but like the powers, like I like how for each of the first few episodes they kind of like based it on one of the main characters, but after that, mm, I dropped it. Norn
So next one.
Norn 9.
Character personalities are really cliche and one dimensional, and it's like it looks like it's a love story, but then it also has some magic and fighting in it. So it's trying to be two things, and it sucks at it. And I'm dropping it because I don't like the two main characters. She's like the stereotypical polite and never gets angry and wants to be friends with everyone. I don't know. I want more realistic characters now. So dropped.
Enough said. So,
Next.
Girls Beyond, Girls Beyond a Wasteland.
The episode was the first episode was a big waste of time. It should have just gotten to the point of that she wants to make a dating sim, but it was like, yeah, it was just a waste of time, and I didn't like that. It's like, how many other episodes are going to be a waste of time? So I dropped it.
I like the side characters more than I did like the main characters. So there's four of them. There's four characters that are mainly shown on the first episode. The main two I don't like. Like they're just too I don't want to say normal, but it's just too typical. Like they're the most typical characters and I'm like, "No. Give me the side characters. They're better than uh and
Yeah,
yeah, I agree with what you said. Like leading up to the moment of what the series was going to be about because it was literally one of those shows that I just was like, you know what, I'm not going to read the summary, I'm going to just watch it and see what happens. And I was like, what? Well, uh, no.
yeah.
And also too, like someone in the comments mentioned Sakano, or in English, How to Raise a Boring Girlfriend, is a way better show. It is a way better show because watched this series, Shoujo Tachi, and then I watched How to Raise a Boring Girlfriend. How to Raise a Boring Girlfriend is way better. Way better. The only thing is that I guess the animation is slightly better with Shoujo Tachi, but everything else is like way better in Sakano. So stop watching it and watch Sakano.
Actually, there's a blog that I read, and it's called Moesucks, and this guy did a post about Girls Beyond the Wasteland, Divine Gate, and Nor 9, and everything he says about it is exactly how I feel about the first episode, so I'll link that in the description. Like, there's a more in-depth detail of why we don't like these shows.
Nice.
Because he explains it better.
Alright, next up, Princess Stride.
I like sports anime, and I was so into the show in the first 2 episodes because it's about racing and it looked really fun with the parkour and stuff. Especially the first episode where they're running through the school. It looked really dramatic and fun. Then the third and fourth episodes were just so hard to watch, and I was just so bored. Like, I don't care about like them running. I don't know, the obstacle that they were running in was so boring. I didn't care for it, so I dropped it.
Alright, next up, Babuki Baranki. Oh, I guess I'm up.
Yeah,
Alright,
you watched it.
so Babuki Baranki. I watched one episode, and a lot happened. It almost moved too fast, if that's possible. So much happened that I was just like, wait, where did these characters come from? Why do they care? Like, like there were things that were not explained thoroughly enough to make sense. And I was just like, well, I'm not gonna give it any more of my time. Because I heard about the powers, like the powers being cool, but it wasn't enough to make up for, I don't really understand what the fuck is going on. Because it put me through one situation of, oh, this is happening. And by the time I grasped that, I'm put into a whole nother situation of, oh, hey, there's been a time gap. We're moving forward like so many years ago. Oh, okay. That's cool. And then it's like 10, 15 characters show up and they all have the same goal. Oh, why? Oh, I don't know. But they all have the same goal. So yeah. Oh, and then yeah. And no. No.
Yeah, it sounds like they got lazy with introductions just to move the story along, but that's not good.
Yeah, like there were too many characters, and I'm like, why are they doing this? Like, I know why, like, I know the basic idea, but that's it. That's all I'm given, and no. Not to mention that I was kind of frustrated with the main characters to begin with, but you'll just have to watch the series if you really want to find out more. The next one is Dagashi Kashi. This one's really different. It's about this boy who wants to draw, like mangas, that sort of thing. But his dad owns a sweet shop, and this girl keeps coming out to like motivate him to take over his dad's sweet shop. And she's part of a big candy company as well. But they advertise like the candy throughout the episodes, and candy combinations throughout the story. It didn't interest me enough. So I dropped it.
Yeah, I would too.
It was more about the advertisements than anything. So, alright, next up, Luck and Logic. Luck and Logic is they're goddesses that can pair up with like people and they protect the world. And the people who do that become like a special task force, like with the police. So they go out and defend the Earth when uh, foreign,
Evil.
yeah, when evil shows up, pretty much. Um, it was a little typical from the beginning, but I still kept watching, just to see if this was gonna, if this is all there was to this show. So I gave it a little bit more of a chance than I normally would. And I think I was interested in like the relationship between the goddesses and the people they partner up with, but not necessarily the main character. The main two that partner up, I don't really care about them, but everyone else was interesting, and they had really cool, kind of cool costumes. But after a while, it it became more like I could predict what was going to happen. Like, well, how this series would end, I could see it. Like, what could happen. And I'm like, no, I need something a little bit different. I could keep watching, but no, no.
Yeah.
The powers were interesting, but no, done.
Yeah, just look up the fights on YouTube.
And then next is Musagan no Phantom World. With this series, this one actually seemed interesting. I probably should have gave it a little bit more of a chance than I did, but in the series, you have this one girl who has boobs, like she has big boobs, and so they try to really like revolve around that a little bit too much than I would like them to. like, like when
uh,
she's fighting, it's like, oh, we gotta get a close up. I'm like, no. Like, honestly, I probably would have kept watching if it wasn't for that. Because it actually seemed like an action series.
yeah, I just don't you hate that when anime tries to be two things at once? Like it wants to be actiony and storytelling, but then it also wants to be porn.
Yeah,
It's like just
like, all
pick one.
she, all she was missing, it was to be, like, more revealing. But, like, the fact that they would do close-ups so many times on her chest, I was like,
Yeah.
I'll stop watching this. Um, the next one is Showa Genroku Rakugo. So, so this one is about a man who just leaves from prison and he wants to become a a storyteller. But one of those storytellers that gets in front of people on a stage and acts out every character that's in the story and does that for entertainment. And he goes to a master that he knows, and he wants to be his um, apprentice, basically. And the idea of it was interesting, but it's kind of like you have to get into the idea behind a storyteller, that type of storyteller, in order to really enjoy this anime. Um, because if you're not interested in it enough, then you're not going to be interested in the show. And I was not interested enough to keep going with the series. And maybe if I would have watched another episode, maybe I would have felt differently, but
So in other words, this anime is for people who have time on their hands. So
yeah.
and we have other shows to watch.
Yeah. Like when you find other shows that you like, it starts to you're not as lenient with the other shows.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, that's it for that one. Um, Next one, Snow White with red hair.
Okay. Well, those are all the ones we dropped, and here are the ones we liked.
Yes.
Um, I watched the first season and I loved it. It's mainly just a romance fluff. A girl and a prince fall in love, and it's just that, and I love it.
I'm sure I'll love it if I can, like, finish season one.
Yeah. You watched one episode.
No, wait, I watched more than one episode.
Oh.
I don't know what if I'm probably like halfway through the series.
Oh,
Like
okay,
I'm
good.
getting there. I've improved.
Because like the first episode, you're like, what's the point if I know they end up together?
Well,
But then
yeah.
you found the fluff.
Yeah, and see that was the problem though. Like after that first episode, if I never would have watched the the ending song, then I wouldn't have been like, "Oh, well, that's it. Like I'm done." He showed me too much here.
I kept watching because I just want to see their cute moments. But there is one thing I don't care about the series is like where they try to make it seem like, oh no, they're in a dangerous situation. It's like we know who's gonna win. Just move on and get to the fluff. I just want to see the cute moment. I don't care about random bad people coming to risk the main character's life. We know they're gonna win.
Yeah.
So
All right. Next up, Kono Dashi Mahoga. Yep.
it's about a wizard. A
Said it.
wizard. Oh, he said the whole thing. A wizard meets a man who likes to travel. He meets him at his favorite bar, and the two hit it off. It's the main thing. And it's like, from just looking at the picture, it looks like it's the old Dragon Age type world or whatever, but it's not. It's like a modern world, but for some reason their clothes are just, that's like their uniform. So it's like a modern world, but they have magic.
Hmm. You know, that picture for that series is kind of deceiving because I would have thought it was
Yeah,
like the complete opposite. All right. Huh.
yeah, I thought so too, but I was happy to find out it wasn't because I love modern world stuff better than like Dragon Age type setting. Even though I could still get into those type of settings, but I'm more into the today's world
Yeah.
because I could feel like I relate more or see myself in the character's shoes and whatever. So
Nice.
I'm liking it so far.
So next up is Najiro Days.
It's about four boys who have no club activities. They hurry through their studies so they could spend their days having fun. And it's mainly just about them and their relationships with girls that they like. Some of them are in relationships, and some of them aren't. Um, it's not that great, but I still like it because for me, it's just a guilty pleasure. Um, I'm trying to think of a show that I can't remember the show's name, but there was another group of, I guess it's kind of like K-On, but with girls. This is the opposite. It's just nothing but guys and their school days. So that's mainly it.
Nice.
And I loved every episode except for episode 5. That's a bullcrap episode. So skip episode 5. And there you go.
All right. So next up is Please Tell Me Gaku-chan. This is also a TV short. It's like 8 minutes long for an episode. It's really different. It's about these three girls. Well, sort of. If it circles around mostly these three girls, and they're in a high school setting, but you hear more of like of what I feel like it's more so of what some girls talk about in school. Like it's so weird of a series, so I keep watching. It's like some
It's
of
just a
those.
fun slice of life.
Yes and no. Like, it's like some of the random stuff that people like think about, and then I'm like, what?
Oh,
But,
like daydreaming?
huh?
Like they're daydreaming or no?
No, not daydreaming, but just like, just stuff in general. Like, I don't know, just random stuff that you would question in high school, like about the body or about other like
Oh,
guys or guys about girls, like, but it's mostly like girls, like from these girls' point of view in general. And it's interesting, even though they're like short episodes, it's kind of interesting. I'm just like, this is weird. But then it also kind of evens out because you have three characters and they're all different. They have their own personalities. One is like an airhead, but she's like pretty good at like a lot of things. The other is like more like she is kind of in the style. Like she has a certain style and she's pretty, but she's kind of a sweet person. And then you have the other girl that's like she's more of an observer and like she's knowledgeable. But sometimes she says things that might hurt other people's feelings on accident. like like it's interesting how the show goes, even though it's so short and it's a little unpredictable about what they're gonna say next or what they're gonna do. But at least you're not seeing like the teacher at all. It's more like on their downtime. This is what happens. Yeah. I'm still watching it. I don't know why. Oh, and then the next one is Konosuba. Um, what's that anime series that we both didn't like? Uh, where it was the guy and the sister, and they go to another world.
no game, no life.
Yeah. So this series is kind of like that, but better. I think one of the things that really made me like this series is that um, I thought of myself in one of those moments when I'm playing a game and a character makes you mad, and so you 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 do an action in the game that you normally wouldn't have done, but since that character made you angry, you're gonna do it.
Yeah, like shoot them in the face, but I wouldn't shoot someone actually in the face.
Right. But
Yeah,
in the game, like in the game, you were like, "Oh, I wouldn't have normally done this, but this character's making me angry by saying the stuff that they're saying, so I'm gonna go ahead and do it in this game." like, like it kind of reminds me of that moment, like something like that happened, and that's when I started to like this series. And like they do eventually go to another world, and it's interesting. I'm interested in what's going to happen from there because it's not so typical. Characters are different. They respond differently compared to like No Game No Life, and so much of the um, there's not so much fan service. Actually, the fan service is like different because it's not really fan service. It's something, but it's confusing. Like when I realized what was happening, I was like, wait, what? I guess this is kind of a spoiler, a little bit, maybe. The people in the show, usually for fan service, the people in the show, like the guys in particular, would be like, oh, like in the moment, like
yeah.
yeah, like they respond a certain way always. And in this show, it's completely different. Like it's only one sided. It makes no sense. It makes sense when you watch it, but it's just like you're getting a completely different reaction from it. So it's like interesting because like I like it for the characters and the story, but it's mostly the characters that are making me like continue on further, and I want to see how long they can keep that up. Because I'm just like, well, this is odd. But I like that it's different. It stands out from the other shows with fan service and stuff. So it's like, okay. But the fan service isn't all there is to it. It's just one of the things that I noticed in an episode. But yeah, I like it for his characters. The main guy is actually kind of cool, so I'm keep watching that. All right.